The Man Who Knew Too Little is a comedy film from 1997, directed by Jon Amiel and starring Bill Murray in the lead role. The film is a comedic take on the espionage genre, where the protagonist, Wallace Ritchie, is an affable yet clueless American who arrives in London to visit his brother, James. James, played by Peter Gallagher, is a successful businessman who has an important dinner meeting planned on the same night as Wallace's visit. To keep Wallace entertained and out of the way, James gives him a ticket to an interactive theater experience called Theater of Life, where participants are unknowingly thrust into a live-action play with actors and scenarios. However, a mix-up occurs, leading Wallace into a real-life espionage situation which he perceives as part of the theater experience. This misunderstanding sets the stage for a series of comedic misadventures, as Wallace unwittingly becomes embroiled in a plot involving international spies and assassins. Wallace's journey begins when he answers a payphone intended for a real spy, setting off a chain of events that sees him mistaken for a top-secret operative. His innocent but oblivious demeanor unwittingly allows him to dodge numerous dangerous situations, as the real spies and criminals around him either underestimate or misinterpret his actions. Throughout the movie, Wallace interacts with various characters, including Laurie, a femme fatale played by Joanne Whaley, who becomes both his unwitting ally and romantic interest. As Wallace bumbles through his supposed role, he inadvertently gathers intelligence and foils plots, much to the confusion and frustration of the actual spies involved. The humor of the film largely stems from Wallace's blissful ignorance and the earnest manner with which he approaches the increasingly precarious situations, believing them all to be part of the theatrical experience. Despite his lack of awareness, Wallace's actions begin to have significant impacts on the schemes of the real spies. He stumbles upon a conspiracy involving a plan to assassinate key political figures, and inadvertently disrupts it at every turn. His interactions with the villains, including the suave but sinister Boris the Butcher Blavatsky, played by Alfred Molina, are particularly comedic, as Wallace remains convinced that they are simply actors playing their parts. Meanwhile, the actual spies and criminals grow increasingly perplexed by Wallace's unflappable confidence and bizarrely effective tactics, which include improvised combat moves and nonsensical dialogue, all of which somehow manage to keep him one step ahead of danger. This series of unlikely victories transforms Wallace from a hapless tourist into an inadvertent hero in the eyes of the British intelligence community. The film's climax sees Wallace inadvertently preventing a full-scale international incident at a high-profile diplomatic event. As the real spies execute their plans, Wallace, still under the impression that everything is part of the interactive play, blunders into the scene and disrupts the assassination attempt, saving the day. His actions, misunderstood by both the spies and the audience, lead to chaotic yet comedic resolutions as he manages to capture or incapacitate the villains through sheer luck and coincidence. The tension of the situation is undercut by Wallace's continued oblivion, providing a humorous contrast to the high-stakes espionage thriller that everyone else believes they are part of. In the end, Wallace is celebrated as a hero, though he remains blissfully unaware of the true gravity of the events he has influenced. As the film concludes, Wallace is none the wiser about the real danger he faced, believing the entire experience to have been a brilliantly staged and immersive theatrical performance. He returns to his brother's home, where James is both baffled and relieved by the night's events, having followed Wallace's exploits through news reports. The final scenes highlight the absurdity of the entire situation, with Wallace recounting his acting experience with enthusiasm and excitement, still completely unaware of his actual heroics. The Man Who Knew Too Little wraps up with a nod to the absurdity of its premise, leaving audiences amused by Wallace's antics and Murray's characteristically charming performance. The film successfully blends elements of slapstick comedy with spy thriller tropes, resulting in a lighthearted and entertaining narrative that underscores the power of perspective and the humor found in obliviousness. The 1997 comedy film The Man Who Knew Too Little is a delightful foray into mistaken identity, starring Bill Murray in a role that perfectly marries his signature deadpan humor with an absurdly comedic plot. The movie is based on the novel Watch That Man by Robert Farrar, who also contributed to the script alongside Howard Franklin. One interesting behind-the-scenes fact is the film's unique approach to its calm, EDIC style. Director Jon Amiel encouraged Murray to improvise many of his lines, capitalizing on his ability to bring spontaneity and unexpected humor to the scenes. This improvisational freedom allowed Murray to craft a character that was as unpredictable as the film's plot, adding a layer of authenticity to the comedy. While the film primarily takes place in London, a large portion of the movie was actually shot in Oxford. This decision was made due to its picturesque locations that offer a quintessentially British backdrop, which is central to the film's narrative. The production team went to great lengths to ensure that the film's environment felt authentically British, despite certain logistical challenges. For instance, the crew had to navigate the complexities of shooting in historic locations, ensuring that no damage was done to the ancient architecture. These efforts paid off, as the film's setting plays a critical role in immersing audiences in the mistaken espionage plot that unfolds. The film is riddled with Easter eggs and nods to classic spy and comedy genres. One notable reference is the title itself, which is a playful nod to Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. This connection serves as both a homage and a clever subversion, as the movie flips the traditional suspenseful narrative on its head, delivering laughs instead of thrills. Moreover, movie buffs might notice subtle references to other spy classics sprinkled throughout the film, providing an added layer of enjoyment for those familiar with the genre's tropes. These Easter eggs are woven seamlessly into the narrative, enhancing the film's appeal without detracting from its humor. On a psychological level, The Man Who Knew Too Little explores themes of perception and reality, particularly how one man's ignorance can lead to unexpected empowerment. Bill Murray's character, Wallace Ritchie, is blissfully unaware of the real danger surrounding him, which ironically becomes his greatest strength. This comedic twist on the concept of ignorance is bliss poses intriguing questions about the human experience and how perceptions shape our reality. Moreover, the film delves into the absurdity of taking life too seriously, encouraging audiences to embrace the chaos and unpredictability of life with a sense of humor. While The Man Who Knew Too Little might not have achieved blockbuster status upon release, its impact and legacy endure, particularly among fans of Bill Murray and comedy aficionados. The film has garnered a cult following over the years, with audiences appreciating its unique blend of slapstick, wit, and satire. Its enduring appeal can be attributed to its timeless humor, which transcends cultural and generational barriers. Additionally, the film's clever subversion of spy cliches has influenced subsequent comedic takes on the genre, contributing to its lasting significance in the world of comedy cinema. In conclusion, The Man Who Knew Too Little offers a treasure trove of behind-the-scenes secrets, clever references, and deeper psychological themes that make it a fascinating subject for discussion. Its production choices, from improvisational acting to strategic location shooting, highlight the collaborative effort that brought this comedic gem to life. The film's playful nods to classic cinema and its exploration of perception offer a rich tapestry of content for podcast audiences seeking both entertainment and insight. As the legacy of The Man Who Knew Too Little continues to grow, it remains a testament to the enduring power of humor and the artistry behind crafting a successful comedy film.